Arriving in the classic Vic formation, the triangle of three. Each aircraft will perform a solo display after this formation flypast. And what an incredible sight that is, glinting beautifully in the sun. In the lead, the very spiny Storch. On the far side, the Messerschmitt 108. On the near side, Bücker Bü 181 Bestmann.
Couldn't find the last one, it was too far behind.
Well, some may think that it is somewhat inappropriate to have such a display over what is, after all, our most famous Battle of Britain airfield. I think it's worth remembering that Luftwaffe aircrew of the Second World War were largely the same as RAF aircrew and Allied aircrew of World War II. They were men carrying out important and dangerous tasks with both bravery and honour. In addition to these three Luftwaffe aircraft in the air, we do have an additional one in the static display. That's the Clem KL-35D, which was a Luftwaffe primary trainer, again back in the 1930s, not able to fly today due to problems with certification. However, it has been delivered here by road. So take a look directly in front of you. With its spindly wings, long undercarriage, in the lead is the Storch. Again glinting beautifully in the sun. Behind is the Bestmann. Behind that, the Messerschmitt 108. The Bestmann aircraft comes from RLM Aviation, run by Mr. Glenn Lacey at Fair Oaks, delightful little airfield, and he is without doubt the world's premier restorer of Luftwaffe aircraft. He has a whole range. In addition to his Bestmann, he has a young man, a young Meister, a Stieglitz, a Clem, and as long-term projects, he actually has a Stuka.
Good Lord, I genuinely didn't know that, Andy. And here they are. I was wondering what the little spots are, and the little dots have manifested themselves. Absolutely fascinating.
And look at that beautiful split. You can see the Storch taking the lead, demonstrating its amazing slow speed capability. The other two aircraft breaking off. Now give you the opportunity to see each aircraft on its own. The Storch, well, unmistakable shape, one of the most remarkable shapes of any aircraft during the Second World War. The reason it's shaped the way it is to give it its amazing low-speed capability. This allows the Storch to operate from a take-off run of just 60, that's 60 metres, and can literally land in 20 metres. That's absolutely no distance at all. Most famous uses were probably as the personal aircraft of Field Marshal Rommel. It was also a Storch that made the famous mountain rescue of the Italian dictator Mussolini, literally landing on the mountaintop to whisk off the dictator. Didn't do him a lot of good in the end, of course, but it was good work by the pilot.
Yes, I think he didn't so much end up strung out as strung up, didn't he? Yes.
Yes, I think it was something like that, Brendan, yes indeed. Nearly 3,000 Storches were built. About 20 still airworthy in the world. Has a top speed of 110 miles an hour, but the top speed is not the issue. It's the minimum speed that is the issue. You can see that being demonstrated very well at the moment. Quoted stalling speed for this aircraft is 32 miles an hour. And you can see the aircraft being flown very slowly here. And believe me, if the Storch could perform this fly past into the wind, it would virtually look stationary.
don't know who signed by Harris.
This particular Storch was constructed in France around about 1942 and was originally fitted with the original inverted Argus V8 engine. Post-war, it went to the French
Falcons, the parachute display team. They are travelling down the display line now. They are signing photographs and they are on their way to the pilot's tent, the Meet the Pilot's tent, and there you too can meet them. Please go along, the RAF Falcons.
And just commencing its solo displays, the Bestmann, Bücker Bü 181D, designed as a sports aircraft and also used for touring. The Bestmann went on to be the leading wartime trainer used by the Luftwaffe. It was actually designed by a Swede, Mr. J.A. Anderson. He was fairly well known at the time. He then became more famous as he went on to form the Saab company.
I think the Bestmann is the lesser known of that group of aircraft. The Bücker 131, the Jungmann and the Jungmeister, of course, the biplanes were rather more renowned.
Absolutely right. This is a very rare aircraft indeed, and actually, once again, very ahead of its time. It's a very comfortable aircraft to sit in. You can adjust the seat, you can adjust the rudder pedals. It was a huge step forward in training aircraft. The big difference between this and other Bücker aircraft was that the Bestmann has an enclosed cockpit and also is very comfortable side-by-side seating. It's a delightful aircraft and has been beautifully restored by RLM, Glenn Lacey, based at Fair Oaks.
Sorry?
A Fieseler trainer, it does have a couple of characteristics which mean it can catch you out, but just coming over the top, the third of the three. This aircraft was designed by the very talented Willy Messerschmitt in response to a 1933 requirement for an aircraft to participate in an air race. Once again, very advanced for the time, and a lot of the experience gained on this aircraft went into Willy Messerschmitt's next product. This was the 108, so the next product was of course the 109. It went on to be the primary fighter aircraft of the Luftwaffe throughout the Second World War. In 1935, a German woman pilot by the name of Ellie Benhorn flew the Messerschmitt 108 from Berlin to Istanbul and back in one single day, 2,200 miles. She not only established the name for herself, but she also gave the name to the aircraft, Typhoon, which is German for typhoon. I think we might see a typhoon later on.
Ah, yes, I remember. I'm trying to think of some story of Ellie Benhorn now. Yes, it's in my head somewhere. I'll maybe pick it up before the end of the display. Yes, the Typhoon.
Well, the American Charles Lindbergh, who was of course the first man to fly the Atlantic solo, was allowed to fly a Bf 108, and he actually declared it to be the best type of aircraft he had ever flown. Throughout the war, the 108 was in widespread service as a communications and a ferry aircraft. Some 885 were produced.